Hello, my darlings. It's me, Suitorpi, and today I brought you another Bakugou Katsuki fanfiction. This one is incredibly sad, and I'm sure that you will incredibly enjoy it. Anyways, as you might know, the ad revenue on YouTube is kinda shit at the moment, so you can support me. Please support me. Links are down in the description. I have a merch store and a Patreon. I would greatly enjoy your support. However, I understand if you cannot, and for that case, well, you can simply watch the video until the end. You can like and or dislike it, comment something down below, and watch the video until the end. And maybe watch it twice, but you know, you don't know that from me. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the story, and let's get right into it. My life wasn't easy. My parents weren't really there for me. It was of no surprise for me to see them being taken away on my 10th birthday. After all, they were villains. I was more than happy to be brought into a foster care, but that didn't help much. I was rebellious, thanks to my parents. My father beating his worldview of eat or be eaten into me since my quirk had awoken. I saw the other children as rivals trying to steal my food. And too late I had realized that this wasn't the case. I ran away multiple times, returned a few days later, covered in bruises and dirt, hungry and thirsty. And to tell you the truth, I don't know why. Frankly, I didn't realize how good I had it there. But of course, because of my behavior, I was never taken by a caring family. After they kicked me out at the age of 18, I was lost. No education, no food, no roof. But I kept being defiant to any authority. I lived my life stealing, partying, and whoring myself out. I wasn't proud of that. I just wanted to forget the pain. By this time, many nights were spent in the streets. It wasn't bad per se. Mostly because of my quirk, I could keep creeps away. Having an offensive quirk like mine has its uses. But of course, this meant that whenever I was outside overnight, I couldn't rest. There's nothing more humiliating than going to sleep on a park bench just to wake up to some bratty kid poking you with a stick, asking you if you're still alive. It was around this time I met Akira. Like me, a nobody. But he had something. And that something was drug. That something was drug, great. And that something was drugs. He let me stay multiple nights at his rundown apartment. And outside of a feeling of euphoria after I took whatever he gave me, everything else just blacked out completely. I know I must have done lewd stuff too, and with him. He was just that type, you know. But he gave me something. Something no one else did. And that something was affection. At least I think it was. But I must have gotten boring to him. First he gets me addicted on whatever crap he gave me and then just throws me out. Back on the streets. With a body broken by him, his friends, and this stuff. So here I am, right this second, standing by the river. I wonder, do I need a stone? No. My heart is heavy enough. It will drag me down into the cold abyss below me. I smile as a tear runs down my face. Will I be missed at all? No. I'll be glad to leave it behind. I jump. Someone jumps after me. And the world turns into a deep, cold black. 25, 26, 27. I was counting the seconds until I would completely drift away. 32, 33, 30. What comes after 33? I forgot. Yet I keep counting. 41, 42. Something warm is pressing on my lips. It is soft. It tastes vaguely of licorice. And then I saw the light. The light of a street lamp hovering above me. I was still alive. Of course. With a world full of heroes, no one will let me go. Without some goody two-shoes saving me for his 2 seconds of fame. Maybe I can ruin his parade if I say just the right things. I almost smile when I raise my upper body off the ground, only to then unceremoniously vomit out water that had been accumulating inside me. I heard my savior chuckle next to me. A deep growl of a chuckle. Despite that, it still sounded less aggressive and calming than Akira's. Once my guts were emptied out, I turned to my right. And there he was. A buff blonde guy with a hero costume that was clearly show than it was practical. A black tank top with orange belts forming an X around the chest. Black pants that probably were a size too big, and orange military boots. The hero's red eyes focused on me after he was done laughing at me. Why would someone like you just throw their life away? No, I was the one laughing. Life? Funny that you'd mention that, Mr. Hero. What did you just call me? He sounded angry, but his face looked amused. Don't you know who I am? He pointed at his chest with his right thumb. I'm Bakugou Katsuki, Ground Zero, number 3 hero. My mouth formed a small O. I remembered him, more or less. I used you as a blanket once. Then the rain started and destroyed the newspaper. He replied dryly. He gave you a questioning look. Look, pal, I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat. Just let me get back on the bridge and jump back in. It will only take just a few minutes. Just tell the media you came too late or some shit. Bakugou looked at me with a mix of disappointment, anger, and pity. It was a weird and ugly grimace. Okay, if you wanna be an idiot, you can be one, but not as long as I'm here. I will personally make sure you stay alive for at least tonight. I gave him a smile, more sarcastically than anything. And here I thought you'll drag me to a hospital. I have a saying, if you can be smug, you aren't hurt. He looked me up and down. At least not enough for a hospital. He stepped closer to me. and his hands suddenly began to crackle and emit a warm glow.
Come on. Let me dry you up. Get you fed. You look like shit.
He wanted to object, but there was obviously no way he would let you refuse. Might as well enjoy a last good night. After we were dry, he took me to his home for a change of clothes. Katsuki had a walk-in closet. A walk-in closet! But before I could relax, he had grabbed my arm and dragged me to this amazing 4-star sushi place.
Look, it might says it has 4 stars, but the shit they make here is worth 5.
He told me with a grin. Fancy sushi as a last meal. I didn't object. Over candlelight, and the best piece of salmon sushi I never even dreamed of looking at, I told him my life story. It felt relieving, like taking a massive dump, or, to say it with more nice words, it felt like taking off a heavy wet coat that smelled like rancid cheese. He listened to everything, sometimes asking related questions for more details. Honestly, I thought he wouldn't believe me. We had reached our 4th serving of the tasty rice treats when I reached the moment he stopped me from ending it all. He was quiet for a minute, then broke the silence with the dessert order. I'd never seen so much ice cream and cake on a single platter, and it tasted divine. The ice was creamy and not brain-freezingly cold. It was definitely made by a chef, and so was the cake. It was pretty much only cream with a big, soft chocolate chip cookie as its footing. Then he paid and escorted me outside. And I don't know how or why, but he said words that sounded too good to be true.
The bridge is to the right, and over here is my car.
He pointed at it.
Right there.
I imagined his next words and desperately hoped he would say them.
I can be your stepping stone for either of these things. I can be your final encouragement that maybe, just maybe, this was your perfect last night before ending it all. Or you come with me. You saw my place, and I got no problem sleeping on the couch for a while. But if you choose to come with me,
he grabbed my shoulders and looked me straight in the eyes.
I never, ever want you to look back. Not even once.
A tear rolled down my cheek. This was exactly what I wanted him to say.